What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast. As always, John Kelly here with Jeremiah, the king of Kentucky backpacking stringer, and that beard that is getting quite impressive, man. It's been a long time since we've had beard talk, you know? But that, I don't know about, we're not going to talk about the bun, but we will talk about the beard. That thing is, it's looking good, dude. It's looking real good.
Thanks, dude. I have, don't tell anybody this, just between me and you. I have one of those hair brushes.
Yeah?
It's a cylinder, and it's got all the little brushes coming outward. So I take that and twist it backward, fluff this beard up real good.
Ooh.
I throw some little beard oil in there from Outdoor Beard. Shout out to them.
Hey, so I do need to mention something real quick, because we are brought to you by Outdoor Vitals. And Jeremiah, will you show your T-shirt off real quick? I'm gonna pull my mic out here.
Did you plan this?
Right there. No, I did not plan this, but I mean, Outdoor Vitals, if you don't believe that we love you, all you got to do is watch this video. Why don't you tell them a little bit about the buyback program, or the send back program they've got going on?
Absolutely, dude. I put this shirt on today. School's starting back, and I had to go in and just work on my classroom. Super comfortable shirt. I said, I got to go with my Outdoor Vitals gear. And then we happen to be recording today. If you want to try out some of their clothing, you should use the try before you buy feature on their website. It's 3 easy steps. You try up to 4 items. You fill your cart to find something you love. You get an 8-day trial where you try it on in the comfort of your own home. And then returns are super easy. You only pay for what you keep. So outdoorvitals.com. Thank you for supporting the show. We'll link below in the description if you want to click on there and check out any of their gear, clothing, foods, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremiah, so this past week, I've started taking my kids out hiking every Friday. That's kind of a new thing that we're doing. Every Friday, I take the kids and we go hike, and their big thing is they love waterfalls. You care if I show you a couple real quick pictures?
I'd love to see them. And if y'all want to see them too, check us out on YouTube or check us out on Spotify to see the video versions.
Yeah, so I took the kids to Creation Falls here at the Red River Gorge. And it's a really easy little hike. I don't even think it's not even 3/4 of a mile to get to the waterfall. But for a 7 and 8 year old, not too bad for a little day hike. But the reason we took the short hike is because when you get there, this is what the kids do. And you can see there's a kid in the back corner. That's not my kid. That's why their face isn't in it. But there were all kinds of kids out here just playing in the water. And my daughter posed for a picture that made me very happy. And I got to show you this.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Standing right in the waterfall.
Oh yeah. Jumped right up in the waterfall. She climbed up to it, jumped right in there and got her picture taken. And she and he had the best time. We played in there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours just in the waterfall. And brought towels and snacks and all that kind of stuff and just hung out. And the kids had the best time, which of course, as a dad, means I had the best time. And we're actually going to go check out another fall this week, and they just love it. And as a dad, I love it because my kids are doing something that's awesome. So, look at this right here. All Things Outdoors, Creation Falls is so cool. It was my daughter's first real waterfall. Heck yeah, man.
Shout out Jeremy, All Things Outdoors.
Heck yeah. It's a great little spot. If you've never been and you're just going to go to the Red River Gorge and do some day hikes, that's a really cool spot to check out if you've never been there. Just a really cool little spot. And if you got kids, it's great. They can climb up into the waterfall, and then you can use it like a water slide and slide right down through it. It's awesome.
I've been talking all summer. Anything you can do involving water since it's so hot. That's the way to go. In fact, I'm planning on heading out this week, backpacking, and hopefully get to see my long-lost father, Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir. Backpacking with Dad.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah.
And on real.
Heck yeah. And Jason and you not backpacking together since May? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
That's a long spell, dude.
Yeah. Normally during the summer, I'm a twice a week kind of guy, but fatherly duties, and then he had to work. So tomorrow's going to be some catching up, I'm hoping.
Heck yeah. Real quick, I want to also do a plug for this book right here, 268 Mistakes Hikers Make. We had Ben on here last week, and I want to see in the comments who all bought this book. If you bought the book, leave a comment. I want to see who all got one. If you're listening and you're on Spotify, Apple, whatever you listen to podcasts on, leave us a comment and let us know that you guys got the book. I'm sure Ben would love to know how many people have picked that up. I've read almost all of it at this point, and that's good for somebody like me who doesn't like reading that much. So fantastic little book. And then let's see. Wait, what's this say? Where's the buck? I only got 15 minutes.
Oh, the buck is on the way.
Oh,
Tim Buckley.
Look at that. He's coming, folks. He's coming. You got to understand, we have to set him up correctly because this is not your typical guest today. Not a typical guest. So yeah. Ben McMillan said his mom bought the book.
She's first purchase.
So that's
Proud
great.
Mom here.
And Jeremy said he just got his. So definitely leave those comments. And to get into our guest, actually, he is a good friend of the show, but now he's an employee of Ben McMillan.
Yes.
So
the author, the DJ, the motorcycle rider, the backpacker, the gear maker,
and now he's the buck boss. So so we are very privileged and honored, and I definitely mean that when I say it, because we think a lot of this guy who's about to come on the screen here. He is one of the most genuine people in the backpacking world, especially in YouTube. You're going to get him at face value every time you talk to him, and he is genuinely one of the nicest people you will ever meet. And he is now a full-time employee, or at least part-time employee, he'll tell us, of Hilltop Packs. He's also the spokesmodel for Hilltop Packs because he's so dang good looking. Welcome to the show, Mr. Tim Buckley.
What's going on, Hawkers?
I am A, touched by your insane enthusiasm, and B, I'm definitely smitten, or perhaps blushing is the right term. Hey, friends, how are you doing?
It's going good, man. You know, somebody made a comment. I think Jeremy might have made a comment earlier on that you have, let me see if I find this right here. The only beard alive that makes Chuck Norris jealous.
Jeremy, thanks, bud. I'm kind of on a trimmed stage here. I was trying to look professional for my first couple days on the job, even though our dress code is awesome.
Well, your beard is so perfectly, like, naturally shaped.
Great.
You're one of those blessed human beings. You're not like me who has kind of the Joe Dierte thing going where it doesn't connect here, and then you got kind of a bald spot here. You know, you actually have a man beard.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. As a matter of fact, if I actually didn't trim or like cut up the edges, I would probably look more like Teen Wolf. Well, middle-aged wolf.
Your beard, you got one of those that grows up to your eyeballs.
Yeah, pretty darn close. I could also do like a full-on jester, like neck beard. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It runs in the family.
While we're talking about beards here, because it has been a hot minute since we've talked about beards on the show, probably years at this point.
You know, people used to get annoyed at us back in the day because we talked about beards so much. And it's actually how Outdoor Beards became our first sponsor, because we talked about beards so much. And we mentioned that we'd love to have a beard sponsor. And here's the thing, folks. We don't have a beard sponsor right now. So if anybody, you know, if anybody wants to do the beard sponsorship and you're listening, you have beard oil, or give us a shout. I mean,
yeah, I'll tell you, my barber, he told me, if you're going to grow this big beard out, don't shave behind it on your neck because it'll look so much fuller. So if you're out there and you're growing a beard, if you're somebody that can grow a real beard, and well, I guess there's all different kinds. You got the neck beard, like you said, and all the way the Teen Wolf, but don't shave down there around the neck. You can keep it nice and trim though, like Tim has.
Yeah. A couple comments have come in about Tim, actually. One says he had a man's beard at 5 years old. And the other one says that he took the job at Hilltop Packs for the employee discount.
Oh,
absolutely.
The rumors. So, no. Just for a little setup here. So looking into the future, and I think we'll get to this, what that looks like. You have traveled, you've lived a crazy lifestyle, done a little of this, a little of that, a little of everything. And we've known you now probably, 5 to 7 years, wouldn't you say, John?
Since what, 2019?
Yeah,
6 years?
It's been
really
a while.
I think I think you made a video making fun of a bunch of YouTubers, but you sent a message to us to say, hey, I'm making fun of you, but it's not personal. And I remember your comment about me was hilarious. You get on there, you go, "My channel's PG. I don't cuss." And that's all you said, and then you went on with everything else. So I think that was the first interaction I had with you was in 2019, and I think that
Oh,
was
I bet
the.
if. Go ahead.
I think that it was either 2019 or early 2020.
You might be right, man. Time flies. It really does. But yeah, I bet I don't remember the title of that video even, but I bet I would cringe watching it now. Not that I'm Spielberg yet, but yeah. Well, you guys know how it is watching the early stuff. But I should
Well,
watch it for nostalgia.
it was funny because nobody was off limits. You literally named everybody. It was like it wasn't one of those things where you just picked 3 or 4 people and just dogged on them. You literally had a fun jab at all of us, and I thought it was hilarious.
Maybe I should do a reboot of that since now I'm a little less camera shy than I used to be.
Oh, you should do it.
That's a good idea.
100%.
So
Yeah.
I've seen you move to different places, live in different states, have different jobs. Like right now, you've moved back to PA, Pennsylvania, and you're working with Hilltop Packs. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But before that, I think the last trip we actually backpacked around Mount Rushmore, and you might have been living in South Dakota at the time. And I'm pretty sure that was where you were living when I first met you too. I don't know how you ended up around Kentucky, around the gorge, but I really wanted to touch on today. Take us through what life has been like for you as of recently. Let's go back to you got a job. You were doing something before, but you moved out to the Grand Canyon and started working there, I believe, at a lodge. Don't know really exactly what you were doing, but what led you to get out there, and then take us through what it's looked like since then, because it's been a little crazy with the wildfires.
Yeah, well, I'll start, I guess, by prefacing I was in Big Bend in Texas. I worked for a company called Aramark. Big, I would say openly, kind of a nasty company. They don't really, value their people the way I wish, but we won't
Do they make like
dive too deep into that.
uniforms and that kind of thing? Is that who that is?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do college food, prison food, destinations. They just put in socked like 175 million into the Las Vegas Athletics, the baseball team. I guess the
Wow.
Oakland A's are moving there.
They're moving to
Yeah,
Los
but
Angeles.
listen,
They're moving to Vegas?
I
I didn't know
think. I
that.
mean, fact check me or somebody in the comments tell me if I'm right or
Huh.
wrong, but I'm pretty positive I'm right. Yeah, long story short, so they do a fairly decent job of transferring folks. So it's more networking. You meet people each season, and I met a bunch of people that worked at North Rim Grand Canyon while I was in Big Bend in Texas. So fast forward, I went to the North Rim where it's much smaller than South Rim. It's a lodge, saloon, a deli, a bunch of really beautiful cabins, all right on the North Rim, and I was bartending there. So it was the most lucrative job I've had for that company.
Some big
Yeah,
tippers coming from the bar, huh?
yeah, it was great money. But yeah, so we want to move on to the meat and potatoes of the story, right? I guess that's what's next. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure. Well, let me ask you a couple questions. So you
Sure.
lived at the lodge. You have what I would describe as a non-traditional lifestyle, and I think some people can get down with that listen to this. Me personally, I love security. I haven't been through the same stages of life as you have as of yet. I'm 32. Just had our first child. You've already kind of lived some of this stuff that I'm going through right now. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of security, schedule, structure. I'm going to be off work, and that's how I'm going to do my backpacking on the weekends, or if I'm off for an extended time, I can do a longer trip. And you live a totally different, non-traditional lifestyle compared to what I was describing. I think. So you were working for Airmark, and
Yeah.
what do they do? They just place you at different places, or you just apply and you're like, oh, there's an outdoor spot, I can move there. And then it's like seasonal work, or what? How does
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah, I don't want to glorify it because I had a lot of great opportunities, but you have to work to get the transfer. You'd think a big company like that would this is kind of where I touched on that. I don't feel very valued from that company, but you have to reapply every season. You have a choice on where you want to go or want to apply, I should say, and then it's up to them whether or not they hire you. But they don't have a streamlined way of being like, okay, well, we're going to move you from season to season these places. So yeah, I started in the Badlands in a summer season, and then that first winter, I did not get a job through Aramark. I didn't find a winter position, and I wound up at Wall Drug, which is think of it like the world's largest Cracker Barrel. It's just this
Yeah, it's on.
massive
Is it on Route
tourist trap.
66? Is that Route 66? Is that one of those
No,
big spots
it's
along
on
that?
I-90. It's on I-90 just outside the Badlands in South Dakota. So
Yeah, but it's like
um,
pretty. It's like pretty famous in the U.S., isn't it?
very much, yeah. It
Yeah.
was on. It was kind of a dry movie, but it was Nomadland. I don't know if you guys recall that movie.
Uh-uh.
It was like a Best Picture winner, and usually they're
Oh,
super
so that means
boring
it
if
was
they win
bad.
Best Picture.
Yeah.
It was
Means it was
bad,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of touching, but yeah, it's famous for that movie. But yeah, I Wall Drug. That's why I wound up in the winter, and then I moved back to the Badlands for a second season, and after that I went to Big Bend, Texas, so I was at the national park, which is West Texas, if you don't know, right on the Mexican border. And then throughout the season, I was just starting to apply. About 3 months into every season, you start looking for your next gig. And then, yeah, landed at
Okay.
the Grand Canyon. But as you touched on it, Jeremiah, my nomadic lifestyle, I did it just because I obsess about backpacking. I obviously can't retire yet, so I wanted a hybrid where yeah, that's it. Wall drug backyard, the jackalope.
The jackalope. Gotta love it.
Yep, I bet that thing has had 2 million butts on it.
Yeah, I just got online and found a whole bunch of the pictures of it, and I now I thought I knew about it. Now, yeah, this is a pretty popular place. There's probably people watching right now. They're like, oh yeah, that place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So
It's
what do
just a
they?
stop on the way to the Badlands and Black Hills, where Mount Rushmore is.
But where are you sleeping at when you're doing these jobs? Do they typically have like housing? Do they give you a stipend and you find somewhere nearby to rent? Or
No, that's kind of the appeal because you're making. I made anywhere from $18 to $20 an hour. Even as a supervisor, I only made like $20 an hour. But you pay, depending on the park. Badlands, I think, was $100 a month for rent, and you got a trailer. I was a supervisor, so I got my own private housing. And then Big Bend was also a trailer, and I had roommates there. And then I just finagled my way into what turned out to be like a private housing. I didn't like sharing a bathroom with strangers. It was so bizarre. I'm too old for that. Long story short,
I was telling in an episode recently, I don't share tents with people.
yeah,
I'm not. I don't want to be that close to anybody. Like, I'm
yeah,
sorry, y'all smell bad.
I'm with you.
I'm not doing it. That's why I love hammocks so much. You can't share a hammock,
Yeah,
and if you do, it's miserable. So
yeah, I can't imagine.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I don't share tents either.
yeah.
So yeah, sharing a bathroom with strangers is kind of bizarre. So I negotiated. I moved from a retail supervisor to the front desk after they begged me 10 times in exchange for private housing, which turned out to be like, I mean, maybe a 1.5-star motel room.
well, what were the bad parts of
all secure in
so-
Sector 7.
what were the bad parts of this so-called 1.5 stars? Why do you give it that rating?
The air conditioning barely worked. I mean, we're talking West Texas. It was 90 in February. Yeah, I was wearing shorts. That was glorious too. I never been in a place where there's no winter. The windows didn't work. The shower was just dank. Like the whole place was it was run down. I'm not much for aesthetics anyway. As long as I have hot water and a halfway decent bed, I'm happy. So I complained, but it was perfectly fine. I had private bathroom. That's all that mattered to me. And then in the North Rim, it was employee dorms. So that's like a nicer hotel room. It's like a hotel room with a big walk-in closet. And that was pretty decent accommodations. And then you get what they call EDR, employee dining room. And that varied drastically. Badlands was okay. Big Bend was terrible. And North Rim was awesome. We had like a salad bar. And if you didn't like there's always 2 choices of entrees, 3 meals a day, cost you $10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Per
they'd have
meal
2
or per the day?
entrees
Per meal or for the day?
for the whole day.
What?
Our rent
That's
plus-
really
it was-
good.
Yeah, it's super cheap. Rent plus food was $15 a day. So
You know,
That's
I never
awesome.
you can't beat that.
No.
this stuff that you're talking about, like before meeting you, I never even knew that the opportunities existed. Like if you wanted to stay in a dorm and work for national park or whatever, if a company subsidizes it or whatever. So it's interesting to hear this. But I do want to get to some of the meat and potatoes as well. So
Yeah.
let me interrupt you real quick here. These wildfires that I mentioned, they hit around the Grand Canyon, and I watch. So you have a YouTube channel called Backpacking with Buckley, and I watched a video that you done, and it looked like you're backpacking with a couple people, and there were wildfires moving in, and I've never dealt with them in my entire life when it comes to like there's a warning system. They're telling you ahead of time. There's different colors associated with like, do I need to leave? Is it safe to stay? What's the radius? Blah, blah, blah. Did you already know that before you were heading out on this trip that you had wildfires that were fairly close and you were trying to find somewhere out of the way, or paint a picture for me on how that happened?
Oh yeah, sure. So I mean, it's the norm that fires pop up around there. They're usually relatively controlled, or they know have some predictability to them, um, which is kind of an ironic term because they turned out to be extraordinarily unpredictable. But yeah, we knew there were some fires. So northwest of the North Rim is Kanab, Utah. It's near Zion National Park, and they were burning out there. It's called the White Sage Fire, and we knew that was going. We also knew the one that turned out to be the big one is called the Dragon Bravo Fire. That was burning just west of the lodge. So, but that was small. They were really minimizing the severity of it. So yeah, we felt confident going out, and we're just going to do an overnight. It was a couple guys that didn't have a lot of experience and wanted to check it out, and I always love that opportunity to bring out newer guys out. They're kind of my friends and cool guys. Long story short, we're just going to do a short trip, and the magnificent luck that we had was we had no signal we hiked like 8 miles that day, and about mile 6 we got signal out of nowhere, and it wasn't more than 5 minutes after that we got the classic, when everybody's phones go off at the same time with an alarm.
Yeah.
It goes off, and it kind of just described that it was now like kind of moving our direction, and that we were, as you alluded to, the ready, set, go. It's a system that I guess is nationwide. Ready meaning just be prepared. Set meaning be extra prepared, like be plan to go, pack a bag, that kind of thing, and go meaning evacuate. So we were on set, like as soon as we started setting up camp, that alarm went off, and we were already in set status. So we just copped a squat for about 30 minutes and kind of discussed what we should do. Fortunately, we're all smart enough to be like, we better just book it.
Yeah.
So we packed up camp, started hiking out. It's only about 2.5 miles, but we got maybe quarter mile down the road, and we got the alert that we had to evacuate. So that was about the only scary little part of it, because we're like, does evacuate mean we have time to hike 3 miles? Or does evacuate mean we're going to
Yeah.
be getting burned up here in 10 minutes?
At
Turned
least you
out
didn't.
we
At
were
least you
fine.
didn't have to hike the whole 8 miles to get out.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
fortunate in itself. Devin got on here and said, "Gah, it's such a bad fire year."
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like Canada right now is like been torched by fires.
Really? Again?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's just scary. All over the country. So, and
So
I
what's
believe the
going
one
through
in
your head
North.
when you got the go? I hate to butt in on you, but I really want to know what's going through your head when you get the thing. It's not set anymore. It's now officially go. Like, what's going through your head?
Honestly, like I said, there's a little anticipation there, a little bit of a little fear, but more than anything, we were kind of nonchalant. I don't know. There's something when you're together with people, you just feel like that kind of safety in numbers, and I don't want to minimize what happened to all of us or all the people, but there's a little bit of excitement to it. We're like, wow, this is an experience. So yeah, we just hustled out, and then we were gonna just like go down into it's called the Kaibab National Forest. It's located just north of the North Rim, and we're gonna like car camp, try to make a decent night out of it, because we figured we're gonna be fine. And we pulled over at a gas station, and it was closed, and that was our first like, uh-oh. So we decided, well, we're going to skip the camp part. We're going to get back to the housing, or the North Rim, and kind of see what's going on out over there. We got back there, and I'm trying to think. I think all was well that night, like just kind of radio silent. No, I take that back. As we're driving back, we are passing all of the cars going north. Literally every guest, they had evacuated.
They're all headed
Yeah.
the opposite direction of you.
Yeah, they're flashing their headlights out at us, and we're like, yeah, we know what.
Who's this idiot driving the wrong? He's driving into the fire. What is he doing?
Yeah, that's literally what's happening. So yeah, we passing all these cars going out, and we could add two and two together that they were leaving. They were being evacuated. So we weren't freaked out because we knew it was just guests. And the problem is they don't want to stuff up the highway because there's only one in or out. There's some forest roads you could potentially escape on, but there's only one paved highway for an hour into the North Rim. So yeah, we got back to housing, hung out that night. Everybody, ironically enough, the sad part is, and as somebody who likes a libation now and then, is it was a very alcohol oriented culture there. So naturally, all the guests are gone. Everybody's partying.
Yeah.
I think I just chilled out that night. I made a responsible choice. 2 in one day. That's rare for me. But so the next morning we had a meeting, and this is where it gets wild. So the meeting was with our general manager and a couple of national park staff at the lodge, like in an auditorium. There's like 200 staff, and they proceed to just soften the entire situation. They convinced us. They were using language like, we're gonna shelter here in place. Everything's fine. This fire is so far north of us. We have nothing to worry about. We would just recommend that you pack a go bag, prepare for, possibility just because of the highway that we might get you out of here and you'll be gone for a week or so before we return and welcome guests back. They were even saying things like, well, it's your prerogative if you want to bring everything. Because keep in mind, there are people there with RVs that have their entire lives with them,
Yeah.
But they were very like, put a stamp on this phrase, you can if you choose to take everything with you, but they were making it very passively clear that they don't think it's necessary at all. So all of us, again, we're just.
How many miles roughly would you say that at that point the fires were? Hundreds, dozens,
No,
thousands?
20. No,
20 miles away.
Well, there was that one again. The Dragon Bravo fire was close the whole time. In fact, I was going to hike a trail that day instead of going into the national forest in the park. That I couldn't. They wouldn't let me on because there were little spot fires popping up, which is what became the Dragon Bravo fire. So that one was literally only like 5 miles away, but that wasn't even a figment of our concern at that point in time. It was the White Sage fire, which was about 40 miles and pushing, south and east. In other words, right towards the highway. So yeah, we packed our bag and we chilled out throughout that day. I get a text from the food and beverage manager, not our entire bartending team. And this kind of goes back to my, geez, in hindsight is 2020, but what a silly decision to make. Any volunteers to open the saloon for the employees today? I jumped on the chance because I'm already like, I'm going to need money if we have a week off. Employees are going to tip. They're going to tip big. They're usually good tippers. I go in mid-afternoon. It might have been like 1 or 2 o'clock. Set up the bar. I open the bar. I have like 3 staff come in right off the bat. And maybe they had 2 or 3 drinks in them already. And then we get like panic mode. I went outside just coincidentally, and I looked up in the sky and it was like, holy crap, there's a massive smoke cloud developing right here, like right west of the lodge, 2 miles. And not more than 5 minutes after that, we got the call, you're out of here. We got to go. So go back. I had 1 bag packed and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm going to grab some odds and ends. And it's just the weird thing. You don't think about it. When I packed for like, Lake Powell, which is like 115 degrees. So I threw a couple t-shirts, a couple pairs of shorts, underwear, all in the bag. I didn't think about my, prima donna $100 hoodies, or I put in my video pants. I didn't pack a pair of pants, period. Left behind things like laptop, TV, you know, superficial stuff that doesn't matter at the end of the day. My Starlink, left our life behind, not having any worries about that. And fortunately, because of that trip a couple days earlier, I had 2 backpacks full of my favorite gear in it because I had outfitted one of those guys. Luckily, I'm lazy, so I had all of that already in my car. Otherwise, I may have left it behind, honestly, and that would have been like crushing, crushing.
Mm.
Wow.
So yeah, I pack up the car, and I had a couple of beers in me because it was like from the management, like, yeah, go ahead, join them. I'm like, all right, I'll have a couple of beers. So I did. But I made the choice, and like, fortunately, there's a lot of people there with no cars whatsoever. I found this dude who I was friends with who, well, quick little story. He was hiking the Arizona Trail, and he gets to the North Rim, hops on a shuttle, and gets a job. So he's
Wow.
like just this like nomadic wanderer that doesn't even own a vehicle, and he worked there all season. So he had a driver's license, and he drove me, and we went to Page, Arizona, which is just a little town right outside of Lake Powell, and they put us up in this like super nice hotel. We stayed there, and man, we just waited. It was excruciating, especially just watching the people that had campers there. They left cars behind. Just heart wrenching. So you're sitting in this like beautiful, like 50 feet from a pool, which they wouldn't let us second class citizens use, but um, just in this beautiful setting overlooking Lake Powell. And all we could do is wait. Like we're just waiting for information. So that was like 2 days of just waiting to see something. Then they call an all staff meeting. They bring us in. They try to reassure us that everything's okay. Housing's still standing. And I think that same day is when we found out like the lodge, everything, most of the cabins burned to the ground.
Wow.
Status to this day is still unknown on our housing. And it's a lost cause for me regardless, because I don't have enough value there to travel all the way to Arizona to get a bunch of smoke damaged clothing and a Starlink, you know. But there's a lot of people, like as we speak, still waiting to see, is my camper there? Did that burn up? Is it damaged to the point of no return? A few cars. Even like some of the youngsters that just don't think. Like one kid had an expired driver's license but left his passport behind. So when it comes to finding a new job, he can't even like prove his identity right now. And you know, just other people that weren't as fortunate as me to, you know, be bartending, making decent money, that had like $30 to their name. So we stayed there, I think 4 or 5 nights. And then they call us in one morning and say, you know, sorry, we don't have a lot of information for you. They were all this time, they're kind of blowing smoke at us saying, we're going to get you transferred. Meanwhile, day after day passes by, not even the best of employees are getting positions anywhere. And then they call us in out of nowhere and say, you guys got to be out of this hotel by 1 o'clock tomorrow. Sorry.
Wait, how much notice
So
did you get?
you've got nowhere to
24
go.
hours.
You've got nowhere to go. You're
Yeah.
literally on the street at that point.
Not me, fortunately, because again, I mean, I'm a paycheck to paycheck guy. I don't value money nearly enough for somebody my age. So I don't usually carry a lot in my savings account. I just make it to the next step. You know, it's part of the journey for me, the excitement of like survival, maybe. I don't know what it is that makes it exciting for me, but this time I had, fortunately, you know, enough to get me somewhere, probably back to South Dakota if I needed to. I mean, I'm not trying to seek pity, but I had maybe $1,000, you know, to my name, with bills looming and all that stuff coming up. And I think I'll just take a quick second, if you guys don't mind, just to say, you know, I put my sorrows out there in the YouTube land, and I asked for help, and I am not going to cry on camera, but yeah, people stepped up, like they stepped up. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without YouTube, the hiking community. And I mean, exclusively all backpackers, all YouTube viewers, exclusively those people all stepped up and made it possible for me. I promise you, I don't think I would have made it to PA without probably begging Ben for like a moving package, and shout out to Ben too, because he has been so welcoming, and all the people at Hilltop Packs are, you know, 2 days in. I've known them for a while, but you know, they're like family to me now. And yeah, they've been welcoming here to me, teaching me how to sew and do all these crazy things I'm doing. So, you know, I know that you fellas have faith. I won't get into how I feel about it, but it's moments like that where you're like, I definitely have faith in something, and especially just in humanity, backpackers. And it was unbelievable. Like I have no words to describe how amazing it was that people, helped me out. And yeah, so now here I am at Hilltop Packs, and it's not like that's a horrible place to land. Ben and I have been talking about it for years, and yeah, we both talked about this when we were all developing the plan on whether or not he'd want to pull the trigger on doing this. And we're like, man, if ever there was a sign, like this is the time to do it.
Right.
Hilltop Packs. If anybody's local around there, can they? We have more to talk about here, but I was just curious. Do they allow people to just straight up come into the shop and they have like gear set out that they can buy off the shelf? I know that they got the coffee and all that, but
have you never been there, Jeremiah?
I have never set foot in there. I've only been to Pennsylvania.
Okay. I've been there. I can tell you that one. Yeah, you can go right on in. They'll even take you for a tour of the facilities and show you everything. It's a pretty open door policy as far as I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
If somebody wants to go, I think this is the right address. I'll read it here, and if you live around there, stop by and check them out. It's 1006 East Green Street, Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, that's right.
Yeah, stop by there and check them out. But yeah, being like,
you just got to be careful, Jeremiah, when you go. You got to be careful because you go in there and you spend a lot of money before you realize you just spend a lot of money.
Yeah, that'll happen to you.
I'm just saying. You go in there and you see a lot of stuff. You're like, I want one of those and one of those, and I'd like some of that, and I want to buy 17 pounds of coffee. Let's go.
Yeah,
it's a good landing spot.
And then you're gonna go to RGB and get some more coffee because Ben's a wild man. He's an absolute wild man, as you guys know. He's got 3 or 4 businesses. I don't know how many LLCs he has, but he has RGB Coffee. It's a sweet little coffee shop in the downtown. He's got Apex Giant, Hilltop Packs, wedding photography. I think he does some dance lessons.
Yeah, we talked to him last week, and he is a man of many talents. One thing I wanted to ask you is to fill the gap between you rolling out, getting put up in that hotel, and then having to leave and ending up in this landing spot, good spot. I think in that time frame, somehow it worked out that you were able to travel and meet up with they're some of my best friends, especially here in Kentucky. But where did you all go? What did you do? How long did you stay on your backpacking trip between the wildfires, having to evacuate, and landing in
PA? So I went from PA to Northwest Montana. And again, this was just another sign of support. Jason called me, just wanted to check in with me. Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. With some respect.
Yeah, we're talking about things. And I think, again, the timing is just so insane. There it is.
Got one life, live it.
So he give you a call. And how's everything going?
Yeah. So, and he was just trying to be helpful and the sweet friend that he is. And he's like, yeah, we're going up to Montana. And my plan was to go through South Dakota anyway, see my kids for a few days before I came out this way. I have adult children, if you don't know out there. So yeah, he calls and I just scratching my head. I talked to Ben. I'm like, hey, you mind if I take a couple weeks to get there? And he's like, take all the time you need. You know how Ben is. Just so gracious about that. And so I was on my way anyway. And we all know that, meals and things are expensive, the backpacking meals, but backpacking in general is relatively inexpensive when you have everything you need. I had a ton of food stored up and everything. So yeah, I just took the small detour up to the Bob Marshall Wilderness, which is basically just a little ways south of Glacier National Park. So it's in the Rockies. I didn't know much about it, but oh my Lord, it was unbelievable. We did 5 nights, 6 days, including 1 0 day, and not out of laziness, just because it was so stunning. Excuse me. Yeah, every campsite we had, with the exception of one, was on like a pristine mountain lake that we had to ourselves. We saw, I don't know, maybe half a dozen humans. We saw more mules than we did humans. And man, it was spectacular. We just hiked, and that 0 day was awesome. We just like bushwhacked around the lake we were staying on and just relaxed and had a good time. And yeah, those Kentucky boys, I've been friends with Jason for a long time, but you know the rest of them, Jeremiah, you probably do too. It was Sean, Mike, and Matt, and is that it? How many of us were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Sean, Mike, and Matt. I didn't miss anybody, did I?
No, I don't think so. There's a couple more of us that kind of backpacked together in that group, but
Yeah,
one of them's injured, and then I just had obligations here in Kentucky.
yeah,
You mentioned food on the trip, so you had some food stored up. I've never not resupplied on a 6-day trip. How did you
yeah.
do when it come to packing your food and all that?
I did poorly, very poorly.
Why do you say that?
Well, I have no willpower, and I don't know what I was thinking, man. I mean, I'm the kind of guy I'll eat like one hot meal a day. So I brought 5 dinners,
Mhm.
I'll peak refuels and a variety of stuff. And unfortunately, never do this, people. Well, it's expensive to try something before, but do it on an overnight. Don't take something you've never tasted before on a long trip, because I think 2 of those 5, well, one was absolutely repulsive. It was like a 3-bean chili with cornbread, and
Mm.
I literally had like a bite, a bite.
Was it was
It
it
was
was it by Ready Wise?
No, it was called Farm to Summit,
Okay.
which I bought it at this little like, cottage backpacking shop, a really cool one in Utah. So I just, you make an assumption like they're probably going to carry quality stuff. I didn't look at the packaging close, and Sean, I believe, took it at the fire and was like reading it. He's like, "Well, it's a long ways from the farm to the summit," because it was just absolutely full of chemicals. And I'm not a healthy eater. I don't care about that, but it
Yeah.
was disgusting. I mean, like really, really gross. I didn't try the cornbread. The other guys did for me, and they also reported that it was repulsive, just super disappointing. So yeah, you kind of go hungry on nights like that. The first couple of nights, I have no willpower. I get a little snacky, and I probably barreled through half my snacks in the first 2 days. So yeah, I brought like, PB&J, like the Bobos, like granola bars. I brought meat sticks. I brought things that I could have for lunch and things like that. But yeah, when you're just powering through those, and then I had candy bars and all the typical things. Yeah, I think the last day, if it wouldn't have been for people sharing snacks with me, I had a package of tuna that Jason had given me. And then yeah,
Bro,
they kind of sustained me. It was bad.
JK, I don't think that you've met him, but he lives close to you actually up there. His name's Matt. I won't go into any personal details or anything, but Matt, I backpack with him a lot, and I love Matt. He does not bring a lot of food, and I haven't got a chance to talk to Jason on this trip. We got kind of a running joke that Matt comes spoon in hand because like the last trip I was on, he had decided that he was like, I'm done bringing hot foods, and this is not a down on him or anything.
Right.
That's just
Right.
what he's doing. He's like he's ultra lighter. I've let him try my duplex L, and he's like, yeah, this is the tent for me, and he's very on the ultralight side, and he's a unique guy, but he comes spoon in hand, and he only brought like candy bars and that kind of stuff, granola bars. But whenever you are cooking something, he tries it. And Tim, I don't know if this happened to you, but when he tries it, he don't skimp on the trying. He's taking full spoon. It is a full serving whenever he's eating it. So I'm curious to hear, with 2 of you doing a little bit of mooching when it comes to food there at the end. Did anybody else run out, and how did Matt do when it comes to food? I can't wait to ask him in person.
Well, yeah. I mean, I echo your sentiments about him. He's a super neat guy. Man, do we have some good conversations. I could talk to that guy all day. All of them
I love
actually. Just
I love him.
yeah, you Kentucky boys really hold up to the Southern hospitality label that you often get. But yeah, awesome guy. But yeah, he definitely, they were harassing him a lot too. So yeah, it was probably day one. I already kind of knew his reputation. And all I saw him really eat was a ton of granola, like just dry granola. God, did he have any meat sticks or anything? I don't know. It's irrelevant, but yeah, what really sticks out to me is he probably just brought like 4 pounds of granola. And you say he's an ultra lighter.
Yeah.
I wondered like how was your pack like 35 pounds or something, or maybe it was 30 pounds. But yeah, with the minimal amount of food he brought, I'm like, how you got all ultralight gear? What did you carry? He must have had a lot of clothing or something. Um, but yeah, he definitely tried everybody's food, and most nights everybody would take like a spoonful. I didn't notice like if he like took multiple or huge spoonfuls, but he was one of the guys who ate some cornbread.
And reported poorly on it, I assume.
Yeah. Jason and Sean wouldn't even try it, and I don't blame them. And then Mike and I and Matt all tried it, and nobody liked it. Everybody thought it was gross. So it wasn't just me.
So we were saying this is worse than Mountain House.
Oh, absolutely, man. I don't know. It was like really acidic and kind of like sourish. There was no like chili powder flavor to it. I have no idea what region of the country makes chili like that, but if they do, they're some strange people. It was nasty.
Don't eat that chili. Don't eat it.
No.
So here's the
Sean's
question.
catchphrase is the best. It's a long ways from the farm to the summit.
Yeah, I like that. So,
Mhm.
so did any of this give you any kind of bowel issues? This food that you ate?
I am blessed, like clockwork. I get up in the morning, I indulge in a couple of bad habits, and then like turn on a light switch right after my Monster and my American Spirit cigarette that I have every morning. It's
Monster and 2 cigarettes. That's my breakfast.
Yep, it's off to the races. So yeah,
Breakfast of
I
champions.
did not. I mean, I'm not going to say that they were like the most ordinary of BMs, but they were regular for sure. Always bring dude wipes because you gotta be prepared for.
Okay,
some of
can I say something funny about dude wipes? This has nothing to do with backpacking, but it's really funny and it's self-deprecating a little bit for me. But I'm a huge Cleveland Browns fan.
Mhm.
Okay, and this year they unveiled new uniforms, and when they unveiled these new uniforms, they are all brown. The entire uniform is completely brown, and they are sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Bro. They look like a bunch of turds running around
I'm
out there.
like,
Yeah.
how could you insult us as Browns fans by getting Dude Wipes to sponsor an all brown uniform?
Yeah,
that is what my Cleveland Browns did. And then the
that's
worst
intentional
part,
marketing. I
and here's
guarantee it.
Well, here's the worst part of it all. They have a video for it. And it shows them all standing there, and then it starts raining, and then all of a sudden they're covered in brown goo.
Oh.
And then all of that stuff washes off, and they've got the new brown uniforms on, sponsored by Dude Wipes. Who does that? Who, like, it's like, I felt like the poor guys that were, I think it was Denzel Ward, Jerry Jeudy, and Myles Garrett. They're all Pro Bowlers for the Browns. Believe it or not, they actually have those in Cleveland. And all three of them, you could tell it's like this, they're trying to smile like this is so cool, but inside, they're dying inside. Like, just like, really? This is what you're doing to us? And we're sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Yeah, and the funny part is it might just work, But I also think about, okay, so there's probably a boardroom somewhere with like a dozen people sitting around a room thinking like, let's talk about some marketing techniques for the Cleveland Browns. And somehow there was a unanimous decision, it wasn't just one person that let's move forward with this idea.
Yeah, I got here.
I worked at
better than the Brownie Fairy and Cleveland Browns doing Cleveland Browns things. And then there's this. The Cleveland Poops.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Oh, dude, come on now. They're just poured it on me, buddy. What a crappy team. Come on, Jeremy. Come on, man. But yeah, so this is, as a Browns fan, this is what I have to deal with. You brought up Dude Wipes. I went down a complete rabbit hole. I'm sorry. Let's get back to backpacking. You
It's
always
still an
pack Dude
interesting
Wipes.
story. Yeah.
And we'll keep going. Sorry.
Yeah,
I have this bad habit of doing that, man. I just have a habit of it. And of course, you're a Pennsylvania guy of all the teams. The Browns make sense though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks.
How long have people been saying taking the Browns to the Super Bowl? I mean, that's a household staple. Even non-football households, that's like a go-to.
They don't even know why they say it.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing. There are several people say, I want to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, I don't know. It's like, but you're saying it. Okay, good.
The intentional marketing. I mean, look at us. We're talking about the backpacking podcast is over here talking about it's working. Tim knows. He knows
Oh,
that
yeah.
their marketing's on point. So
Yeah.
speaking of poop, Tim, how was it out there? I thought I saw in your video, like I said earlier, Backpacking with Buckley's the YouTube, and you actually released a video of this whole trip, long form video. And during that video, I saw, I think, some outhouses, but it looked like somebody's wanting an outhouse with a view, but unfortunately it had 4 walls. Everywhere y'all stay have outhouses out there?
No, that was just the first lake, and actually we ended up staying there twice, the first night and the last night, because we had 5 guys, and we had planned on staying on this lake called Sapphire Lake, but it just wasn't great for like 4 hammocks. Long story short, we just hiked closer to the car and hiked. Well, that was still about 5.5 miles from the car, I think, and stayed at the same lake the first night and the last night, and that's the one that had the outhouse, and it's one of my favorite scenes when Jason was like mad about the door being there and he propped it open with a rock and then he just kind of puts his hand on his hip. What did he say? Something like, "Now that'll be all right." Like, it's just in a classic Jason accent. But I do not use those damn things. I'll go dig a hole.
Porta Johns?
No, if I take one look down that hole, I start dry heaving. I have a weak stomach for that kind of stuff. I'd much rather dig a hole. I'm not a thru hiker by any means, but I spend a lot of nights outdoors. I'm real comfortable just taking a squat.
Oh, hot take here.
Man,
Looks
look
like
at that. That is a hot take, because personally, I would rather use that than go dig a hole.
Me too.
Everybody else, yeah, I was a lone man on that one. I know it's a bit strange, but it's oof. If I could go in and like mind over matter and just train myself, but it's like watching a car crash. There's something about it that inevitably I'm gonna take a peek down that hole, and if I do and see the pyramid of human feces, I'm dry heaving, and then it's game over. Then you got it potentially coming out both ends, you know. So no, I dig a hole. I don't even have to use a tree, or I can just flat out squat now.
Nice.
Well, you see what I got?
Nice.
This is our next poll, John. We'll check next week. We have secured Moose. He's a search and rescue expert that we'll be having on next week, but we'll talk about during the show, and maybe it's a good way to talk about poop with him.
Would you rather use a porta-john or go dig your own hole?
Yeah, is it? And I'm going to be specific on the nobody wants to go to like your local county fair and use one of those porta-johns. Like, I totally get it.
We're talking backpacking.
Yeah, we're talking backpacking here.
A privy.
Yeah, a true privy. Yeah, let me mark out outhouse and put privy. Yeah, that's good advice.
There you go. Well, I was going to ask if you had a good poop story, but you just beat us to it, and it's fantastic, and I appreciate you getting us there. That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Buck.
Natural transition.
Do me a favor here, man. Why don't you tell people how they can find you online and where they can see your videos, get updates about how you're doing on your sewing abilities, because I noticed some pretty crooked lines when you were practicing on that piece of fabric. So I know they're going to continue to get better, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, these people are artists. I'm not even, if I had to guess, maybe 20% their speed, and I'm all over the damn place. And I'm watching like Amy and Amanda. They're just such gracious hosts. They're training me very, very slowly. But they just burn through, I mean, like bear bags and stuff like that. And it looks like it came off of a robot. It's so straight. I am getting better. But I've done some, like tent stack bags and stuff. They're allowing me to do things that go to customers now.
Oh, wow.
Ben
Good job.
Like Ben is insane. I'm working in the backpack room today, doing like super simple straight stitches, sewing pockets on and some of that kind of stuff. And I'm doing okay. But yeah, these people it's a skill that it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. And I'm excited to learn out of anything. I know I'll be wearing many hats here, I hope, but I'm most excited to learn how to make gear because it's fun. I'm creative, and I think Ben and I share that. And I'm just looking at my sewing machine like, hey, how are you? But and I'm sure, the honeymoon period will clearly wear off. It's monotonous and stuff like that. But this week I wake up and I spring out of bed and I'm like, yeah, me see if I can get a little better today. Yeah, I'm getting better very slowly, very slowly.
Yeah,
And
but
on the socials, is it Backpacking with Buckley across like
Oh yeah,
Instagram, YouTube,
the
Facebook, all of
the
it?
shameless self promotion.
please
Yeah,
be shameless.
I think Backpacking with Buckley. Obviously, that's my YouTube channel. That's my Instagram. I don't know. I'm not very active on like TikTok, or I'll post pictures and things on Facebook a lot, Instagram. But yeah, I'm really YouTube focused.
Sure.
And I think I always will be. I mean, honest, we talked about earlier. I met so many friends that way, and that's the reward for me. That and the $40 a year I'm pulling in off of it.
Big ballers up in here, ain't
There
we?
you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Well, man, thank you so much for being on, man. I love getting a chance to chat with you on here. You are one of my
Yeah.
favorite people to talk to on this show, and it always, like I said, it always comes off. You are one of the most genuine people, and
Well,
love having you on here.
I mean, you guys are flattering. I really appreciate it, but I hope you know I feel the same exact way about you. I mean, I've known Jeremiah, but the first time I met you, John, it was like instant friendship. Yeah, you guys toot your own horns once in a while too. You're great dudes. I really appreciate talking to you. Woo! Trying to show off some of that.
Buddy.
Trying to show off some of that Kentucky enthusiasm. But yeah, more importantly, I'm living close to you guys now, so hopefully we're going to cross paths much more often. And I mean, I'm nothing against a 6 or 8 hour drive, so keep me posted on what you guys got planned.
And October is the Kentucky meetup at River Gorge, so hopefully we can all meet up there and hang out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm going to go to that unless some catastrophe happens, but that's not going to happen because life's going to be good from now on for a while.
Yeah, bring that boss of yours with you too.
He's got a wedding, and I want to harass him.
What does that have to do with me? What does that wedding have to do with me? Nothing. He just needs to just forget about it and show up.
You had to kidnap him, drag him.
He's got other people that can do that.
Him. I think between me and a couple of staff here, we could probably physically overcome him and throw him in a van, and I'll just bring him.
Oh yeah, you can pack a second backpack for him. That's no big deal.
Yeah. Well, and you never know. Maybe the wedding will get canceled.
Yeah.
Those things don't. There's not a high success rate in marriages. Maybe they'll realize it before the
If you can give me the information about the wedding, I could just call into that place and say, "Hey, we're going to cancel."
Sabotage.
We just had a question asked. Is the RG open? It's open invite. Once we got the dates, once we got official dates, we'll put them on here so people can come hang out with us. It's open for anybody who wants to come backpack and hang out.
Yeah, it's I have the official dates. It's October the 10th is the first night, and everybody leaves October the 12th. So
perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the dates.
That'd be great.
Hey, one last thing, fellas, if you don't mind. This is the more important plug. Shop at hilltoppacks.com so I can get a paycheck. And know that you're supporting one of the most beautiful group of people I have ever worked with in my life, and that's genuine. So yeah, please check out hilltoppacks.com. We do some awesome stuff. If you're not aware of us, that's all I'll say about that.
And don't forget to pick up your copy of 268 Mistakes That Hikers Make, written by Ben McMillan, the owner, CEO, CFO, COO, and president of Hilltop Packs.
Yeah, it's currently #1 in the category of walking.
I saw that. It is #1 in the walking category. Dude,
it's
thanks
#1
so
in
much.
a couple categories. Yeah,
there you go.
That's awesome. It's a good book.
Thanks again, Tim, for being on, man. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Love you.
I tell you, dude, that guy is just one of the most genuine people on the face of the planet.
Well,
I'm still here.
Tim, yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I just muted him.
Tim, we love you, and I say this with love. I hope Tim is not in charge of quality control and his own stitching. Hopefully he's got one of those young ladies that are working there that's been there for years, that's checking over his work, and it's probably smart starting him on the steak bags that are only like 5 or 6 inches long instead of sewing together the pack.
Well, and personally, I hope he meets a nice young lady sometime soon too.
Oh, matchmaker! Look at you, John.
He's our friend, man. I'd love for him to find some happiness there. That would be nice.
Well, I heard there's a wedding, like there's a breakup coming for a wedding, so there could be some.
Oh
pits
yeah, there could be a
there.
woman that was going to get married that's not going to anymore.
Yeah, who knows?
I've heard a well-placed phone call is going to maybe change things for that.
Folks, everybody join us next week. Another live stream, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have Moose on, who, well, he's well-rounded. I won't go too far into it, but one of his big things is search and rescue. And we've only had one search and rescue person on here since the show began, unless I'm mistaken. And I'm excited to have another, man. We barely scratched the surface on what that lifestyle looks like and some of the different crazy events that those people have had to live through rescuing others. So we're going to hear just what it's like on the front lines when it comes to backpacking and hiking and rescue. So I'm excited to talk to Moose.
I am too, man. It's going to be a good week. But for today, thank you guys for tuning in. It was awesome having Tim on here. It's awesome having all of you watching and all of you who are listening. Thank you so much for listening to the Backpacking Podcast. We know without you guys, we're basically just talking to an empty screen. So thank you, and we'll check you guys on the next one.